So today I'm back doing yet another tag. I'm really sorry if you can hear the lawnmower outside. They've been doing that for the last 5 hours, so please just ignore it if you can hear it. I hope you can hear me okay. But this tag that I'm doing today is called the My First tag. So I'm just going to be answering a series of questions. I found this tag on YouTube and I thought it would be really fun. I love doing tags. It's one of my favorite videos to do. So I figured why not. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first question is my first tweet. I can't remember it off the top of my head, so I will insert it right now. The next question is, what was my first YouTube video? My first YouTube video was uploaded in 2010, and it was a video that me and my sister did for New Year's. It was New Year's 2010. I think that was my first video. I'm pretty sure it was. It was just us recording the TV of the countdown to the new year, so that was probably my first video if I remember correctly. The next question is the first person you subscribed to on YouTube. That one is really easy. I've been following this YouTube guru for ever since I even signed up for YouTube and even before I made an account, and that is Mischievous. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of her, and I'm sure many of you are subscribed to her. I absolutely love her videos. Her makeup is amazing, and for not even being a professional makeup artist, she's absolutely incredible. So I've been subscribed to her for a long time, and she was the first person I subscribed to on YouTube. The next one is, what was your first Facebook profile picture? Again, that's really easy. I signed up for Facebook in 2010, the summer of 2010, I believe, and my first picture, I'll insert it right now. So that was my first profile picture on Facebook. I was 16 years old. It was before I had really blonde hair, before I had any piercings or tattoos. So, you know, from then to now, I look totally different. That was my first Facebook profile picture. Next question is, do you still talk to your first love? And the answer is no, we do not. What was your first alcoholic drink? My first alcoholic drink was a screwdriver, which is vodka and orange juice. You know, my dad used to be an alcoholic, and that was his drink of choice, was vodka. So one day I decided to mix it with a little bit of orange juice and give it a taste. So that was my first alcoholic beverage. Kind of like a mixed drink as well, so kind of first for two things. The next one is, what was your first job? I have never had a job before, which it's kind of funny because today I'm in the process of handing in applications for my first job. But other than that, I have never had a job before, so you know, going out to find your first job is quite nerve-wracking for me. I'm super nervous, so I hope it goes well, but I've never had a job. What was your first car? I've never had a car before. I don't drive. I don't even have a license because I'm scared of driving. And even if I did have my license, there's no way I could afford a car right now anyway, so I don't have a car, never had one. Who was the first person to text you today? The first person to text me today was, you know, on my phone, every time someone calls me and I get a voicemail, it actually will text me the voicemail. So the first text I got was a voicemail. It was a wrong number, so I don't know the person, but their voicemail got texted to me. So that was my first text today. Who is the first person you thought of this morning? Not people, my dogs. They are the first thing I think about when I wake up, because when I wake up, I usually feed them right away and take them outside to go potty. So those are the first people, because I do consider them my kids. So those are the first people I thought of this morning. The next question is, who was your first grade teacher? That's really hard. That was forever ago. I actually don't remember her name. Yeah, I don't remember her name, but it was in Crestwood Elementary School in Rockford, Michigan. And yeah, I don't remember her name off the top of my head. All I remember is that she had really long black hair. Yeah, that was my first grade teacher. Question is, where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? I have never been on an airplane, and I don't ever plan on going on an airplane. Flying and airplanes scare me in general. I don't ever plan on going, and I love being in the car. I love car rides, so if I were going anywhere, I would take a car. If I had to go over water, obviously I would take a boat, but I don't think I'd ever want to fly. I don't really have a need or want to fly. Who is your first best friend, and do you still talk? Her name was Ashley, and we were friends for a long time, and then she moved away, and then she just recently came back, and we kind of talk off and on, but not as much as I would like to. Where was your first sleepover? My first sleepover was actually at Ashley's house because we both lived in trailer parks and mine was literally right across the train tracks from hers. So what we would do is we would cross the train tracks all the time and I would stay the night at her house or she'd come over to my side and stay the night at my house. What was the first thing you did this morning? The first thing I did this morning was take my dogs out to go potty, obviously. That's the first thing I do every morning, and then I come inside and feed them and then get myself ready for the day. What was the first concert you ever went to? The first concert I ever went to was Hilary Duff back in 2005. I used to be obsessed with Hilary Duff, and one weekend my dad surprised me and my sister with tickets to go see her. So that's what my first concert was. I had a blast. I was the happiest person that night. It was so much fun to me. Not a fan of Hilary Duff anymore, but I do want to go to more concerts in the future. First broken bone. I've never broken a bone before. Growing up, I was a very careful kid. I never broke an arm or anything like that, so I'm really lucky, and knock on wood, I hopefully won't ever do it. I wish I had wood around me. Hopefully I don't ever break a bone, because that would be really scary. What was your first piercing? My first piercing were my first lobes right here. When I was about 2 months old, that was my very first piercing. I got them done at Claire's when I was just a little tyke. First foreign country you've gone to? That was Canada, and the 20 minutes that I spent in Canada, it was just kind of a random thing. Me, my mom, and sister, my mom's husband at the time, we were in Mackinac Island. We were like, let's go to Canada. Like, why not? Because you didn't need a passport or anything at the time to go there. So we just got in the car and just kept going north until we got to Ontario. It was Ontario. And we drove around for 20 minutes, and what I saw, I absolutely loved Canada. I would love to go back and actually spend more time there. So that was the first one. What was the first movie you remember seeing? The first movie I remember seeing, like, in my life was the Disney movie Ants. For those of you who are my age know what that movie is, and that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters with my dad. My dad took me and my sister to go see it, and it was super fun. I loved the movie theater, and I loved that movie, so that was my first one. When was your first detention? My first detention ever was senior year, I believe, because in school I was never late or I never did anything bad. I always, got to school, got there on time, did my stuff, went home. I never participated in any of the things any of the other kids did. I never got suspended, expelled, anything like that. I had a lot of in schools my sophomore year, so I guess that was kind of counts as a suspension, but you just sit in the office all day. But my first detention was senior year, and that was for my mom not calling in for me one day, and I got in trouble for it, so I had to sit in a room for, oh gosh, what was it, like 6 hours, I think. Who was your first roommate? My first roommate was my boyfriend Chance, because as you all know, we live together now, and it's interesting. It's definitely different from being alone. Sometimes I wish I were alone more often, but what are you gonna do? If you had one wish, what would it be? I'm not gonna tell you guys. I keep my wishes and things really private and close to me, so I'm not gonna say. What was the first sport you were involved in? That was in 7th grade. I was involved in competitive cheer because I was really into gymnastics when I was little, and I thought competitive cheer would be a great way to show everyone my tumbling skills. So I really loved competitive cheer. It was a lot of fun. The reason I quit is because I didn't think gymnastics was for me anymore, which I totally regret. I would love to get back into gymnastics. It was really fun for me. I was really good at it. Being 4'7", you really can get a lot of height and running and flips and all that jazz. So I really enjoyed it, but I just didn't think it was for me anymore. So I quit that after a year. But that was the first sport, and I had a lot of fun with it. What was the first thing you did? What's the first thing you do when you get home? The first thing I do when I get home is I pee if I have to. That's the first thing I do. And then either check the mail or things like that. When was your first kiss? My first kiss was when I was 12 with my first boyfriend, and we were at the skating rink, and we were just kind of listening because they played music, and we were just kind of listening to the music, and then we kissed. So it wasn't like a big deal or anything, but yeah, that was my first kiss. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tag. If you want to do this tag, I will list the questions below in the description box. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and don't forget to subscribe. For those of you who want to interact with me more, I do have all my links listed below, so make sure you go and check those out. But until then, I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye! And now it's time to announce BreeAnn's beautiful Barbies of the day. The first one is Taylor V. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Sammy C. and Vile Violet. Thank you so much, you guys.